Howdy folks, this is Lance09 here, and welcome back to my tutorial series for Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead, where we are doing the voiceover for the really bad audio that I recorded it with to begin with. So, last episode we messed around with a crowbar for the first time to break open into a building. An alarm went off, so we have to worry about a iBot that's outside, and we're having problems with carrying capacity again because we really need a shopping cart. We wouldn't have been able to bring a shopping cart upstairs, by the way, though. You can't bring them up and down stairwells, which makes things really difficult. But yeah, so we're just going through the house trying to loot it, but we're already out of carrying capacity. So basically, I'm just window shopping at this point. And now I'm like, which way should we get out of here? Because I don't want to get attacked by this iBot, but I don't think there's any way above us to get out because of this fence. I think we have to go out the front door. So with that decision, I try to get out the door. I'm having some issues because grabbing this box and pushing it around is really quite difficult. But yeah, then I get outside. I look around to try to find this iBot, and there it is. It's down there. So we have to keep our distance from it. If it sees us, we'll be in trouble. Pushing it back home. Ultimately, I've decided that pushing this box around is not a good way to store things, just because it's too difficult to move around, and it actually doesn't really hold that much before it gets too heavy to push. So I drop off my stuff. At least we get to skip this part, right? Like the sorting equipment takes forever. And it's probably the majority of my episodes, but we don't have to do it here. So I just put everything in the piles they belong in. Shotgun, put up in that top pile there. I push the box aside, and then I'm like, oh, wait, we haven't talked about NPCs. Or we've talked about NPCs a little bit, but let's talk to them again and see if we can make friends with them. So I push that away. I talk to him. I see if there's anything else I can do for him. He says I don't have any more jobs. So I try again do you want to travel with me? And I say, we're friends, aren't we? And this time he says, you got it. I'm with you. So now he's with us. Now we have all sorts of options to do with him to customize his uh, behavior, his AI. So I just start with engagement rules, which was option A there. And then we have a bunch of options. So these are toggle these on when we press them, right? So if we test the top, it'll be don't fight unless your life depends on it. Probably don't want to do that because we want him to participate with us, so he will not he'll fight even if his life doesn't depend on it. Attack only enemies that you can kill easily. We're going to run into some really tough zombies every now and then. We're going to need his help, so I'm not going to turn that on. Attack only enemies that I attacked first. This is pretty good, so I turned this on. I want him to only attack things that are attacking me. I don't want him to run off and go attack whatever he wants to attack, because they'll just run away. I mean, you'll never see him again if you leave that on. It happens with animals all the time because you can't control. Attack only enemies you can reach without moving. I think I'll leave that one the way it is, but I am thinking of changing this because when enemies do get close to me, even though it says enemies I attack first, for some reason he'll still go try to attack them. He does wait till they're pretty close, but the fact that he moves at all is a little annoying. But the only thing I'm worried about this is I do want him to move to me if I'm getting under attack. But we'll have to experiment with that and see if that works. Attack enemy within range of your ranged weapon, but don't move. Attack any enemy within range of your ranged weapon, but don't move. I think I don't change that one. Let's see what I do, because I don't remember what I did with that one. Yeah, I didn't change it, so I just left that one there because I don't really understand what it's asking. And then I do change your aiming rules. I just go down the list here, basically. Aiming rules. This is basically if you don't want him to shoot you, options to prevent that. We are not going to turn the volume on because my audio is terrible. Again, these are turn on, so whatever these are, he has the opposite right now, right? So go wild. You don't need to aim much. We don't want him to miss, so right now we have him set to aim. It actually has these listed in order. It explains everything over here, like what he's set to right now. So he'll aim when it's convenient. Take your time and aim carefully. I think I have that. I think I set that to on. And don't shoot if you aim very well. If you can't aim very well, I think I turned that on as well. Yeah, take your time, aim carefully. Maybe I don't change that last one, but I changed the take your time at least. Get back to here. I go to now. These don't open up new menus. These are specific instructions. Sit close to me no matter what. I think I toggle it to see what the other option is. The other option is move as freely as you need to. We want him to stay close to us, so I leave that back. I move that back to stay close to me at some point. This is the follow distance. The only options are 4 paces and 2 paces. I'm not really sure what we're going to use in the long run here. I think I set it to 4 at the start, and then I changed it to 2 later because I want him to stay a little bit closer. Don't use ranged weapons. He has a crossbow, so I want him to be able to use his ranged weapon. Only use silent weapons. It depends on what this means. Like bows and crossbows are pretty quiet, but I don't think they're soundless. I think they still make like 1 or 2 stand points. Same with weapons. They're melee weapons are pretty much soundless, but they will make some noise when you hit an enemy. So I don't know. It depends if the game's being extremely literal or not. So I just leave it the way it is because I don't necessarily want him to use silent weapons. I'll just manually control what weapons he's using. All right. I really don't want him to use grenades, so I'm going to turn that on. I don't want him to use a grenade and get us all killed. I also want him to worry about shooting an ally, so I'm not going to turn that on. And then hold the line. Don't move onto obstacles adjacent to me. This can cause issues where he gets in your way, right? So I do want to turn that on. So I make these changes right here. You can see the opposites have appeared now. Move wherever you need to fight an enemy. No, thank you. Then we go back and we have some more options. I think I want to set up a miscellaneous rules. At some point, I will click that option. There we go. Or maybe that might be what can you do for me? Did I skip one? I guess I just move on to there's something I want you to do, which I believe is this menu. D. And then you have some options here. You can ask him to teach us something. He can actually teach us skills if he has skills that he has that we don't have. I think it takes time to do, though, so we don't necessarily want to do it unless we're in a good spot. Let's trade items. Allows us to trade items back and forth. Because he's on our team, it's not going to be price-based, but there will be prices listed. It's just the same interface as trading with NPCs that are not on your team. But we can take everything he owns, basically, if we wanted to. But probably not going to. Want you to use this item. We'll give that to him for things that we want him to actively use. So a weapon that we want him to use, medicine that we want him to use. We can also just medicate him ourselves. That'll make it so he'll use that. I think if it's worse, though, he might say no. So we have to... I run into that later. I don't remember if it said, are you sure? Or if it said he just won't do it. But either way, we can go to the trade menu and take his weapon away that he has and then force him to use a different one. Hold on to this item is just telling him to carry something. Can do the same thing with the trade items, but this might be a little quicker. Guard this position makes it so he stays where he's at instead of following you, which is a good way to get rid of him. Find a horse and mount up. He will go find a horse and mount up if he can. Want you to build a camp here. I don't know what that means. We'll have to experiment with it. Current activity, I think I take a look and see what that is. I think he just says he's doing nothing. What do you want me to do? And then it brings up a list of options of things he can do. But they're all like more advanced stuff that I don't really want to mess with. This is like if you want to start running like your own colony of people, which you can do, but it'd be a lot of work. So I'm like, let's just leave that alone right now. He will help us with stuff randomly. We don't have to tell him to do stuff if we don't need to. Then I like to know more about your abilities, C, and that brings up his menu of stats. This is his, not ours, even though it's the same look. It shows you his stats, what he's good at, what he's bad at. He's pretty smart and perceptive. Not the strongest, not the best dex. His torso is incredibly encumbered. He's decent at bashing weapons and dodging, which is great. He's a good melee fighter. He's also pretty good at archery. Can do rifles and machine guns too. He has a little bit of survival and tailoring skill, which will help us with crafting. Actually has really good healthcare and social. Well, I wonder if that's why I had trouble recruiting him at the start, because his social skills like really high. Maybe it was making it hard for me to convince him. I don't know. But yeah, you'll want to check that in case something going wrong with him. Then I talk to him again. Oh, he dropped his crossbow on the ground for some reason, so I'm trying to get it back to him. This red exclamation mark means it's stealing, which I was like not sure how this is going to work because he's on our side. I don't know if it's going to count as stealing or not. It didn't seem to. So I had to drop my cudgel to pick it up, by the way, because we can't fit in our inventory. And then I get back to let's trade items, or I want you to use this item. I think I tried to use hold on to it, and I want him to use it though. So yeah, that brings up this menu. This is the trade menu, and this is where the money values are listed if it was a real trade. But since he's on our side, it doesn't matter what the value is. He has a bunch of junk, because remember when we were out at the swamp, I grabbed like tons and tons of plants and stuff, and then I kind of forgot about him. But he ended up with them because he got that entire bag back. So he actually, some of this stuff actually might have been mine before he got the bag back. But yeah, so that's why his torso is encumbered. He has all this junk on him. And then yeah, I gave him the wood crossbow. And then yeah, I go get my stuff back. And I also take some of his stuff because he doesn't need the tramadol. I need the tramadol. It's a high level cane killer. So put that all away. Get my weapon. Then I think we're good. So I head out. We go back to town. Now he's following us, but he's really slow because we're quick. So he gets left behind pretty quickly. I go back. Okay, I found the combat boots. I went and got the combat boots. Oh, I left my bag in town. That's what happened. I left my bag in town. So I like, okay, let's go get my bag because I have lots of stuff in it I need, and I need to get more equipment into it. So I bring it back. I gotta see if we compared our armor yet, though, because I grabbed the armor boots, I think. My voice is going. Because I already voiced over all of this. Now I just got to do it again. There we go. Combat boots compared to steel-toed boots. And this is where you see, what the heck? Steel-toed boots are better than freaking military boots. Excuse me? Want to run that by me again? This is way better. Not as much coverage. 100% coverage is nice. But warmer, that's kind of a disappointment because we actually don't want warmer. But better encumbrance is actually lighter, but these don't fit well, so maybe it would change, but probably not. Not that much, at least. The protection's better on bash and cut, which is what most of the damage that zombies do. And I think bugs do more cutting damage because they bite and stuff. Ballistics is only a little bit lower. Not that much lower, though. They have better acid and fire protection, environmental protection. Steel-toed boost master race, man. I don't know why, but yeah. Just go for steel-toed boots, and then you never need new boots in the game. Drop our stuff. And then I think, yeah, I grabbed my sewing kit, and now we have our soldering iron. So I grabbed that too and reload it. Soldering iron uses batteries, but actually I already had a battery, so I was like, yeah, let's just leave it. I was looking at putting a new battery in, but didn't need to. So then I start with the sewing kit here, I think, and just double check if I can repair these things. Now you'll see our tailoring skill is 7. So that's part of the reason that we're tailoring better, but I think it's also because he's helping us. Our success chance is way higher than it used to be. Just astronomically higher. But yeah, he's actually assisting us with crafting these things. Unfortunately, my webcam's covering all this stuff up anyway, so eventually it might cycle up here. But not like the one I have now, but the one that was already there. So I can't move out of the way. Yeah, just repair all of that, and then I switch to the soldering iron, and then we do repair stuff. We get a slightly different menu because it's different stuff. But yeah, we can actually go repair our medical gloves and stuff, except we're out of plastic. I repaired my iron grease at least, though. So I'm like, okay, we need to go get plastic. Dumped out this plastic bottle or this gallon jug. Take the batteries out of this MP3 player. Take it all back inside. Dump a headlamp I didn't need outside. Sorting some stuff. My voice is almost gone. I grabbed them both emergency jackets because they're all plastic. I dropped those and cut them up. I also cut up all of our leather stuff here, I think, because here we go. Martin Meeks helps with this task. So he can actually help us with the basic tailoring stuff and speed things up, which is very nice. Put that all away. Try to cut up anything else I've got. Drop some of my extra stuff. Talk with Martin, I think. Yeah, I gave him the Gambison here. I gave him the Gambison, and then I take away the stuff that conflicts with the Gambison, because Gambison's decent armor. Remember, we made it, and then we didn't need it, so we had better immediately. But that's still pretty good for him, so I give him the Gambison. He's wearing it now. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I think I'm giving him some of his stuff back that I don't need. Then we go back to town. I get my arrows and stuff back. And this is the end of the episode. So, the next one, we're going to do some fighting with him on our side, which will be fun. But we're all out of time for this video. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, remember, hit the like button. Keep the conversation going in the comments, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Until next time, I hope you have a good day.